There we go. So, hello and welcome to Daily Space. I am your host, Annie Wilson, and today is June 6th, 2019, and I'm hosting today. I know, it's not a Wednesday. Imagine that. Dr. Pamela is traveling, so y'all know what happens when Dr. Pamela is traveling. I get to host. So, I have 3 news stories for you today, and we will get at them. So as a reminder, please at me with your questions during the news stories, and I will, if I don't answer them during the news story, because sometimes I see them and can add it in, sometimes I can't, we'll talk about them after I cover the news. And please hold all of your bits and subs and stuff till after I'm done with the news, because otherwise, I may forget to actually, shower the dogs with Cheerios, and nobody wants to miss me showering the dogs with Cheerios. So, alright. I think everything's ready, and here we go. So, the first news story is that, yes, today is the 75th anniversary of D-Day. You're probably like, what does this have to do with astronomy? Hold on. We'll get there. So, as a refresher, D-Day was the invasion of Normandy, France, and we'd like to start by honoring the individuals that fought and too many times gave their lives to help liberate Europe and free the Jewish people, other populations, including LGBTQ individuals who were prisoners in concentration camps. So, yeah, this is kind of a big deal, and this is why, there's practically an annual remembrance. Well, it is an annual remembrance. There's an annual remembrance because this was a really big deal. Capital B, capital D. So, while this doesn't seem like an astronomy story, new work by Texas State professor Donald Olson looks at the contradictions between what many historians claim to be true and what the generals said were true. Just trying to make things align. And dozens upon dozens of historical accounts insist upon the need of a late rising moon to ensure the success of the airborne attacks, arguing that the initial stages needed complete darkness to ensure secrecy for the approach, but moonlight was necessary for the final landings and assault. This Texas State professor, Donald Olson, quickly realized that something was amiss. A late rising moon contradicted other historical statements from Allied leaders such as General Eisenhower, Admiral Chester Nimitz, and Prime Minister Winston Churchill, who stressed the importance of moonlight illuminating every stage during the night of June 5th through 6th. So, the historians are saying it was dark on approach, and then moonlight afterwards to illuminate everything, and the generals are like, no. Oh, not generals, but Allied leaders are like, no, we need the moonlight all night. We need the moonlight all night. So, while historians keep saying there was a late rising moon, which would be a waning gibbous moon for those keeping track at home, use of planetarium software like Stellarium, which you can download for free and check this out yourself, shows Eisenhower, Nimitz, and Churchill knew what they were talking about. The moon was essentially full, meaning that everything was illuminated all night. The mission had indeed been planned around the full moon, taking into account the tides and the moonlight. While weather required it to be delayed a day, the delay actually placed the invasion in the center of a 3-day window of opportunity. So this is literally just one more way the moon has helped keep so many of us safe. things could have gone differently if there wasn't indeed a full moon that night. We may never know, and that's okay. I'm okay with not knowing how things could have gone differently. All right, so very solemn start, but very important to, kind of point out that yes, sometimes the people who were in charge of this stuff knew what they were talking about. All right, and on to our next story. So this image, we'll talk about more. I'll explain more about this image in a second. So we have to admit, around CosmoQuest, we were super excited about the InSight and its burrowing temperature probe. And this is on Mars. The probe, called the Mole, that got itself literally stuck up against a rock. Yeah, it's stuck. So in this image, the model's robotic arm is lifting part of the HP3, that's Hotel Papa 3, to expose the self-hammering mole. It is partially embedded in the testbed soil. Standing mid-ground, so right behind the testbed soil are engineers Ashidi Trebi Olanu on the left and Troy Lead Hudson on the right. So the mole is it's a self-hammering spike that was designed to dig as much as 16 feet, 5 meters below the surface and record the temperature on Mars. It was designed to go 16 feet, and yes, we're going to use, US measurements. I am so sorry. But it didn't. It went 12 inches, which, for those of you that use the metric system, is more or less about 30 centimeters. I'm probably off a little bit. 30? 33? Just think of it as about a third of a meter. So yeah, 5 meters versus about a third of a meter. Yeah, that's not right. And it did this somewhere where the lander's cameras literally can't see it because the mole's support structure is blocking the cameras. How? Anyway, after more than 3 months of thinking and planning, the InSight team now plans to use InSight's robotic arm to lift the structure out of the way. So they're going to use the robotic arm to lift the support structure for the mole out of the way so they can see what is going on. That's wild and ingenious. So depending on what they see, the team might use InSight's robotic arm to help the mole further later this summer. And here's hoping to how they get it sorted. I have no idea how they plan on... Hold on. Alright, I apologize for that interruption. The joys of living in a city where you have yards. And there was indeed a tinker docking, because she is indeed the one always guilty of always guilty of starting it. You started it. You have to be up here now. Welcome to live streaming. Anyways, so we pretty much finished that story. I do think it is wild that the structure was blocking the view, and they couldn't see. So, and I have zero information on how they're going to use the robotic arm to help, the mole later this summer. I don't know if they're going to use it to pull the mole out and try somewhere else, or if they are literally going to bang the top of the robotic arm on top of the mole, or if they're going to use it to move the rock. Common sense says they might just try to use it to move the rock if the rock is above surface. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. We'll find out later. Okay, so our next story and our last story is this. This is a pretty image. So the background is illustration, artist interpretation. The inset in the foreground is from Alma. The red is gas moving away from us, and the blue is gas moving towards us. So yeah, that's pretty easy to wrap your head around. So the explanation for all of this is our galactic center is approximately 26,000 light years from Earth, and the supermassive black hole there, known as Sagittarius A star, which, yes, A star is the name of the star, and yes, it is indeed a star. Sagittarius A star. Not Sagittarius A star. Anyway, Sagittarius A star is 4 million times the mass of our sun. We've previously been able to measure the hot, which by hot we mean 10 million degrees Celsius. For those of us that don't understand Celsius, that's 18 million degrees Fahrenheit bubble of gas around Sagittarius A star. This gas, about 66% of the temperature in the core of the sun, glows in X-rays. So just pause. No, don't bark. I don't need your opinion on this. No. I know it's really hot. We don't need your opinion on this. Nope. I know it's hot. We're not going to argue about this. Just think about, just come here and think about how hot that is. And that it's only 66% of the temperature in the core of our sun. That's a lot of degrees, as Raven Lillian says. That's a lot of degrees. Really, honestly, this probably should be measured in kelvins, but as Larry points out, Celsius and Fahrenheit and Kelvin really don't matter after the first millions. This is incredibly hot, and it is indeed a bubble of gas around Sagittarius A star, and this whole thing glows in X-rays, which is why we need X-ray telescopes to observe it. So ALMA stands for the Atacama Large Millimeter Submillimeter Array, and I honestly don't know where that is. I apologize. I know it's on Earth because it's an array, meaning multiple telescopes. Astronomers have managed to image the cold gas disk that is about 1,000 astronomical units. That's 1,000 times the distance between the Earth and the Sun from the black hole. The total amount of gas is just 1/10 the mass of Jupiter, and its motion about the black hole can be seen from the velocity difference in the gas. So that's why you have the red of gas moving towards us and the blue. No, I got that backwards because I can't ever remember, redshift. Anyway, so the red is gas moving away from us. and the blue is gas moving towards us, and you can see that in the inset of the ALMA image. And this is just wild. It really is. The fact that the total mass of gas is 1/10 the mass of Jupiter, it's wild. It's wild. Okay. So that one was a little more astronomy than I can normally handle, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll plod through that one together. And yeah, so now I will answer your questions while you're typing in additional questions or coming up with corrections, because please correct me. As people say that they think ALMA is in Chile. Apparently it looks like chat is confirming that ALMA is in Chile. Which makes sense. And there was a comment about, think about how quickly you could bake a pizza. And as Raven Lillian points out, I don't think bake would be the right word for that pizza. What do? Just show it to the gas? That's just amazing. Anyways, so while I scroll up, I'm going to remind you that this is a production of CosmoQuest, whose host institution is PSI, that's Planetary Science Institute, in Tucson, Arizona, working in collaboration with Youngstown State University here in Youngstown, Ohio, where apparently everybody is mowing their lawn today. Everybody's mowing their lawn today, and they choose 1:30 to do it. So we stream Sundays through Fridays, most days, at 1 p.m. Eastern. Right now that's 1700 hours UTC. And I reached the top of the questions. All right, so here we go. Susie says, we're talking about the D-Day story. Susie says, my grandfather was there. He came in after the first wave because he was a mechanic, but he was in France for a while. Lost many friends, earned a Purple Heart. Thank you to all the people that served, and big heart/love to all who suffered. Yeah, and it wasn't, as Astra B points out, it was not just Americans. It was combined Allied forces. So you had Americans, Canadians, British, and many other nations that participated in D-Day. Larry Weird and Proud says they doesn't believe that the troops knew about the concentration camps at D-Day. That knowledge might have came later. I don't know that off the top of my head. There was already things. Refsmat adds that David Olson is a well-known expert on testing these historical alignments for various paintings and events when the sun and moon positions in particular could make a difference. That's actually pretty cool that somebody's actively doing that. It really is. Hanny's asked about the... I just lost it. What is it? Hanny asked about the Mars story, about the Insight's mole literally being stuck in the rock. Do they have any idea of how hard this rock is, like on the Mohs hardness scale? It was not included in the slides today. Dr. Pamela was very kind to prepare the slides for me, so that is not something I had time to research. So I unfortunately don't know. If somebody can find the answer to that question, that would be amazing, because yeah, that would be interesting to know. How hard is it on the Mohs hardness scale of where it got stuck, and how hard on the Mohs hardness scale were they expecting to drill through? So DPI to the rescue for 12 inches pops in with 30.48 centimeters. So I was close. I was super close when I said about 30 centimeters. Yeah. Look at me getting my metric to freedom units conversion getting better. I want to see a comic of the banging of the arm on the mole. Raven Lillian, if I could art fast and well, that would be amazing, and I would love to see it. But I don't art fast and well. But there's part of me that wants to write that down and see if I can sketch it that in my sketchbook for a while. How is Insight... Fenring asks, how is Insight doing for power? If this issue extends further, will it have enough juice? I honestly have no idea. Not a clue. I don't know how Insight is powered. I don't know if it's a battery, if it's solar arrays, if it's a nuclear reactor like Curiosity, which... Come on, guys. We have a nuclear reactor on Mars. How awesome is that? Yeah, I really don't know. Okay, I think I'm catching up. I found this, auroraastronomy.org. Aurora's statement on the Starlink constellation of satellites. Kerbal, if you can share that in the Discord, that would be amazing. I honestly probably won't talk about Starlink again until next Wednesday. And I will make a note of that. I guess I'll just have to make a mental note of that, because I don't know where my post-its are. I probably won't talk about Starlink till next Wednesday, because I think next Wednesday is also going to be a slow... Whoa! Things happened! There was a pledge via Patreon. Thank you for the pledge! Alright. So we're going to undock the lapdog, and we're going to, do a close-up of the dogs. Oof. Tinker's like, you're going to undock me? You're going to undock me? Alright. Alright, so give me 1 second to, get the dogs up. Alright. Thank you for that pledge. Hey. I didn't ask yet. Speak. Oh. Speak. Alright. That's enough. Tinker! Alright, the dogs say thank you. I say thank you. Thank you for being awesome. Don't... Oh, no! I'm sorry for blowing everybody's ears out. And make it rain! So thank you for that Patreon pledge. Oh, look! There's more cheers! Thank you, Trekker Kev, because y'all know I can't get their attention anymore. So, more Cheerios. And make it rain! And there are Cheerios, like 4 Cheerios stuck on his back again. So, I'm going to continue scrolling down. Oh, look! More Cheerios! More Cheerios! What does that say? Pegasus? And make it rain! Oh my goodness! And now there's a follow. That's another... My floor is going to be covered in Cheerios. What have I done? I don't care. It's fun. Alright. Puck. And make it rain. He turned his head. Alright, so all the Cheerios. Yeah. I think I missed a few things. Dawn pizza. Yeah, that pizza cooked on Sagittarius A-star in the gas clouds will be gone. Oh, look. There's still more. I'm never going to be able to catch up. Alright, Puck. Is my phone? I think my phone's ringing. Oh, well. Alright. And they're not even turning. I am so sorry. Alright, anyways, more Cheerios. And make it rain! Alright, so... This is amazing, you guys. You guys are awesome. Alright, so Fenring asks, do we know when the image of black hole Sagittarius A-star will be released? No, I do not. I know none of the things today. Today I am Jon Snow. I know nothing. And I'm okay with that. So yes, I guess that's the thing he's looking for is the Event Horizon picture. Fenring adds, public did not know about the magnitude of horror in concentration camps until the end of the war when boots were already on the ground and soldiers saw it firsthand. Yeah, I have a feeling that it may have just been rumors and, again, people just didn't know. Alright, here's the Cheerios. And see, they're just being vacuums. Anyways, here's the Cheerios. And make it rain. Aha, I got him to look that time. I think he now has 5 Cheerios on his back. All right, Kerbal adds, Insight has 2 solar array, solar power 4.5 K, so yeah, kilowatt hours. RefSmat says there is not a nuclear reactor on Mars. The RTG plutonium generator is converting alpha decay heat from plutonium into electricity. It's not a nuclear chain reaction. Thank you, RefSmat, for that correction. Which means I won't teach my niece and nephew things like, hey, there's a nuclear reactor on Mars. I did know that decay was involved, but obviously I am not a physicist. I know very little about how power is generated from different methods. I just knew it was different and had a longer life, but converting the decay heat from plutonium into electricity, that's actually super cool. It's not a nuclear reaction. Oh, look, there's more happening. But as Hanny says, a nuclear reactor could be very handy, but yeah. Oh my goodness, there's even more bits. All right. Oh, because there's... I'm amused. Puck is scratching himself, and the Cheerios are falling off, and Tinker's eating them, and it's all occurring off camera, so you guys can't enjoy this with me. All right, so, cover the ground with Cheerios. All right, so here is, some Cheerios, and make it rain. And my thing is done. Yeah. Rec, yes, he is indeed a fluffy vacuum cleaner. He is indeed. Puck is the fluffy one. Oh, Ed, it was 500 bits. Thank you. Awesome. Awesome. Well, this is all the Cheerios I have left in my container, which is weirdly getting green screened out. So we'll just dump them. And the floor is covered in Cheerios. So, Fendering says, if anyone hasn't seen the Chernobyl miniseries yet, they should. To be clear, I'm pro-nuclear, but this should be watched by all. It is on my watch list, but last night I chose to watch Drunk History because I was looking at, what was it, Season 3, Episode 7 called Oklahoma, where it talked about Cooper, the last Mercury astronaut, having to manually... Was it Gordo Cooper? It was Gordo. I can't remember his full name. But it was Gordo who manually landed the Mercury craft, because the Mercury craft were, for whatever reason, totally automated. And the astronauts, who at that time were pretty much all test pilots, were like, we're just spamming a can. Leroy Gordon Cooper. Aha, I did have it right. Thank you, RefSmat. See, sometimes I get stuff right. But his systems just kept failing in the Mercury craft, and he ended up having to land it manually, and he was just super chill the entire time. And I had known previously that a Mercury craft had to be landed manually because of electronics failing, because urine got loose. I'm not joking. But Gordo Cooper was indeed the first American to sleep in space. He struggled to, I guess there was something that they, quite frankly, urinated into, and then they had to transfer that urine into another container. And everything I've read very politely says that he struggled with that. And what that means is that urine just got, like, into the electronics of the craft, and that's why everything failed. So yes, for those of you that don't know, I have a slight fascination with space toilets. Just slight. I am teaching my 4-year-old niece about how many humans and toilets are in space. I am a child. But yeah, I had never put 2 and 2 together that the Mercury craft that Gordo landed was the same Mercury craft that had all of those failures because of, urine. And he flew again on Gemini 5. Oh, look, Fenring pulls up a new emote. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, Gordo did get himself into trouble with NASA because he liked racing. He liked racing boats and cars and things of that nature. He was he on Apollo 10 or was he on the backup to Apollo 10? I think he was the backup crew for Apollo 10. And I think he was assigned to the backup crew for Apollo 10 simply because they didn't have other people to put on the backup crew for Apollo 10. Like, there were 3 people that were on the backup crew for Apollo 10, and 2 of them were already out of favor with NASA. So, yeah. Refsmet says he got sent to the back burner. He sure did. Kerbal says, I have a chance at seeing Jupiter in my binoculars tonight. Go outside and see Jupiter in your binoculars. I am so envious. Do it. You will totally enjoy it. I want to throw Cheerios at the dogs, but the thing is empty. So, yeah, no. Go look at what you can out in the sky tonight. So, oof. All right. Is there anything else? Hanny's asked, you can't enter races when you're at NASA. It wasn't that he couldn't enter races. I don't know where it's at. The Raven Lillian. I don't know where Jupiter's at in the sky tonight. Youngstown's usually cloudy and Hanny's asked, you can't enter races when you're at NASA. I think they told him not to, and he did anyway. They probably felt like it was too much of a risk to his life, and he was a very valuable asset. So yeah, NASA pretty much didn't want them messing around doing things like that. Raven Lillian, or Q says, Raven Lillian, you can look it up in Stellarium. Yes, you can. You can set Stellarium to practically any location, any date, any time, and see what the night, or if you're looking at the day, what the stars that you can't see during the day are. And he says, it's probably raining, Youngstown, Ohio. Sometimes it's just cloudy. It really is. But it's not like Seattle. It's different than Seattle, but it's still often cloudy. We don't have a whole lot of really clear days. Humidity is here. Stellarium is a good thing. It's free. It's open source. I think they've moved the entire project over to GitHub now. So if you're on GitHub and you want to contribute to a project, there's that. Yeah. As Veronica says, Seattle has shore breeze, and Youngstown's a bit too far away from Lake Erie, and we're not super close to the Ohio River to get a whole lot of that, so I don't know. Fenring says, reminds me of the right stuff in the part where Chuck Yeager breaks his arm the day before breaking sound barrier. That had to be painful. I can only imagine the G's he felt, in flight with a broken arm and how that felt on his arm. And worse, he probably didn't tell, flight surgeons. So, like the last Skylab crew, they were all rookie astronauts. Oh, was his rib, not his arm? Anyways, still, something broken, and then he went and broke the sound barrier. Ugh. The last Skylab crew was all, rookies, and one of them, I think it was William Pogue, got super sick in the first couple days they were there and couldn't really do anything because he was so sick. But instead of telling ground control, they hid it, they concealed it, and the previous Skylab crew had done a whole lot of work and a whole lot of other stuff. Like, they were really, really productive, and ground control felt like, or mission control, or somebody for Skylab felt that the last crew would be just as productive and adapt just as quickly as the previous crew, but that wasn't true, and there were rumors of a strike, and I don't really think there was a strike, but there was some friction there that eventually did get taken care of. So yeah, but they were doing that conflicting, if I tell them I'm going to be in trouble, when really telling them was better so they could plan around it and help. So, and that's not uncommon in the military and other places like sports. So there's that. And yes, it was Chuck Yeager who had a broken rib. Oh, wow. Before breaking the sound barrier. Broke 2 ribs when he fell from a horse. Oh my goodness. 2 nights before the scheduled day of the flight, he broke 2 ribs when he fell from a horse. That's usually not something that's, I mean, riding horses can be dangerous, but oh wow. Oh wow. Ed Thompson says, from collecting space, I think Slayton's main issues with Cooper were his training ethic and attitude. He was a super pilot, but kind of a kick the tires and go kind of guy. The straw that apparently broke the camel's back was Slayton forbidding Cooper to race in the Daytona 500 only weeks before Apollo 10, and Cooper making some snarky public comment about allowing astronauts to only play tiddlywinks. Yeah, you can't play tiddlywinks in microgravity, though. So, yeah. I did catch some of that on Wikipedia about all the races he was doing, and I don't think I fully absorbed all of the training ethics programs, because I know mission control, ground control was really freaked out when he's like, I'll just land this thing manually. And they were like, no, nobody's ever, but yeah. So, I don't know if it was him or somebody else that lied about, during the selection process, lied about their marriage, because he was living separately from his wife, had a couple daughters, lied about his marriage, said that it was super solid, and then immediately after the thing, he drove to where his wife and daughters were, told his wife, hey, I have this opportunity. The wife was like, this sounds like an awesome adventure for me and the girls. Sure, we'll pretend that we're happily married. Astronaut history. Well, that was definitely somebody from Apollo 10, either the crew that went up or the backup crew. I can't remember which. So, yeah. And Q says, oh nice, the current version of Stellarium even has the Shadow of Io on Jupiter. So today, I am drinking just some of my cold brew diluted with water. There's no strawberries in it. It is literally just coffee and water. I am going to be getting a donut in a little bit. Birthday donut, yay! And then it sounds like we're going out to Starbucks. And after that, it sounds like we're going to a brewery tonight. So I am rationing my calories for all the fun stuff today by having plain diluted cold brew with no strawberries. So yeah. That is really cool, though. The current version of Stellarium even has the Shadow of Io on Jupiter. It really is. Susie says, happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you to everybody with the happy birthday wishes. Yeah. Because I know they're all going to stream in a second. Midtown asks, so should I be expecting drunk food photos being posted tonight? I have such a backlog of food photos for you, Midtown. Such a backlog. I don't know where we're going to eat. I really have no idea what we're doing today. Happy orbit around the Sunday. Yeah, I made it another orbit. I really don't know. Hey. Texas? You couldn't do that in Texas before to take beer to take home now? Breweries here in Ohio can fill up growlers, pints to go, cans. Like nephew and I, when we were in Columbus at Brewdog, not Dogfish. At Brewdog, we watched a couple pint-sized cans get filled up directly from the tap, sealed up, and then they put a generic label and wrote on the label what the thing. So, not at a brewery. That's very interesting. And booze is so regulated. Yeah, I always think Ohio's booze is really regulated, and then I remember that we don't have to go. You can buy beer and liquor at the same place, and that they're loosening a lot of it. It's all done on the local levels, but they're loosening a lot of the no sales on Sunday restrictions and things of that nature. In California, though, where Misstown lives, and I'd gone out to visit, and in Nevada too. Like Walmart, Walgreens and CVS and drugstores just sold liquor on the shelves, and they could rearrange it however they wanted, and you can't do that in Ohio. So a random wallaby says, so if you go to a bar, you can't just get a beer to go. In Ohio, no. In Ohio, no. It depends on what kind of license they have. Some bars aren't allowed to do it. Some bars are allowed to do it. And all of that literally has to be voted on election time. Alcohol's been sold in grocery stores here in Ohio for a while. But if you want to buy liquor at a grocery store, you literally go into a whole separate room that has its own register, its own doors, and you have to leave your cart outside to go get liquor in a grocery store. And because that part is state controlled, and you buy your liquor in there. They essentially, you have a separate receipt for it, and then you can go on and finish your grocery shopping. So, yeah. Washington was interesting because we went to Target and we were able to get liquor in Target, and we're like, this is abnormal. You can get mixers at Target here, but not bottles of liquor. It was really weird when we were in Seattle. Favorite human kind of enjoyed it, but it was different. It was different. Hard alcohol, Veronica says, in Washington, hard alcohol used to only be sold in state-run stores before election a few years ago. Yep. That may change here in Ohio, but everybody's so used to going to a liquor store, and it's not necessarily state controlled, but the state does say this is what the price is. And we have a drive-through not very far from us, and a drive-through is not like a fast food drive-through. A drive-through is, there's actually two near me. A lot of places in Ohio, it's where it might be called a party barn or whatever, but you pull in, you can get sodas, chips. I've bought milk from one, cigarettes, scratch off lotto, and beer. I don't know about liquor through the drive-through, but you literally go pull into this thing, tell them what you want, they run around and get it for you. They take your cash or your card, run it, and if it's card, you just sit in your car and you sign off on it. And yeah, it's kind of amazing. It's kind of amazing. Shh, 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 shh. Hey. I know. It's okay. And Ohio, you can have beer shipped to you, but only if the brewery is within Ohio, or if they have some other kind of special thing. It's confusing. Random Wallaby says, sorry for saying this, but it sounds like such an American thing. It is a very American thing. Drive-thrus are not in all of America. The drive-thru buying alcohol and milk and soda and cigarettes, that's not all of America. Like, they're not in upstate New York. I don't think they're in Pennsylvania. I don't think I saw any in California. Yeah, so it's different. It's a very much regional thing that I thought was everywhere because it's an amazing concept, but it's not everywhere. CosmoQuest, or Larry asks, CosmoQuest, do you think liquor stores in Ohio know that bottles are metric? Texans don't. I don't know. I really don't know. Hanny says, drive-through liquor buying must get pretty interesting. I'm not entirely too sure if you can actually buy liquor that way. I know you can buy beer and hard cider and stuff that way. I will have to ask Favorite Human because he's usually the one that goes, and he's not going to be back for a little bit. So, but yeah, it's kind of when I used to go through the drive-through all the time. Previous partner would go and get cigarettes and a bottle of soda because you had to have like a $5 minimum or something. So you'd buy a pack of cigarettes and a bottle of soda. You can probably get candy through there. And sometimes we would literally get a gallon of milk because that was the closest place to buy milk. And yeah, we would just do that. But we never really got liquor through there. On the occasional time that we did get alcohol, it felt kind of special because they don't have all of it. When you pull in, you usually see like soda and chips and stuff. The alcohol is further back. So Larry says, try asking for a liter of whiskey and you get the weirdest look, but all liquor is metric in the US. I've heard fifth being used, but I don't know if that's like I don't know fifth, what that equates to. So, I don't think I've ever asked for a very specific measurement and be like, hey, I want this, because usually everything is just on the shelf and you can grab it yourself. We like things the way we like them. Yep, we sure do. Fifths are no more. It's now 750 milliliters. Is the alcohol content of liquor and beer that different or something? Why are they regulated different? Yes. Beer in Ohio, beer and wine are typically 12% alcohol by volume or less, and I think liquor can be closer to 75% alcohol by volume. So yes, they are very different. Wow, Oklahoma had beer restricted to 3.2. Wow. Everclear, you can actually buy the really, really strong Everclear in Ohio, but you have to fill out a form that says that you won't use it for drinking. You can use it for cleaning, for making cordials like limoncello. Yeah, so, but yeah, liquor is definitely stronger. That's the things, that's like gin and vodka and rum and tequila and things of those so. Wow, Refsmat says, the astronomer Kepler solved the laws of planetary motion, but also did some important work on the way to measure the level of alcohol in barrels. It's kind of a pre-calculus. That's awesome. A random Wallaby says, I wonder how many have signed it and did it anyways. I handled that really strong Everclear, and I wouldn't drink it. It was awful. There's also another liquor here in Ohio called Diesel, and I think it's close in strength with the highest Everclear. It's terrible. It's the really strong Everclear. It smells terrible. It tastes terrible. You don't want to mess with that. You don't want to mess with that. It's gross. You do not want it that strength. Yeah, it must be mixed. And even mixed, even in the limoncello I made, it was too strong. So yeah, I don't think I'll use that strength of Everclear ever again to make cordials. But I mean, you go to their website and they have all these cordial mixtures. So you use Everclear to clean because it is mostly alcohol. And it's alcohol that can be ingested safely compared to isopropyl alcohol, which... All right, we're going to talk about alcohol real quick, kind of, because I don't have all the things handy. So I don't think I can get all of my things real quick. So there's methanol and ethanol. So methanol is... All right, I'm gonna dig for a second, but I'll talk while I'm digging because I want to show you, because I feel like it's easier to show you, and I don't have everything ready because I need a double bond. I need a half pi bond on my for my carbon molecules, and I don't have those handy. So give me 1 second while I dig. But so ethanol, which is the alcohol we drink, is 3 carbons and a... Actually, no, I don't need a double bond. What am I thinking? I don't need a double bond. Okay, I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. I don't know why I was thinking I needed a double bond. So this is methanol, right? Right? And this is the stuff you don't want to drink. This is bad, and isopropyl, I'm trying to think of how isopropyl looks. I think this is isopropyl. And this is bad. No, wait, propyl is 4. I'm sorry, my brain is escaping me. Propyl is 4. So I think this is isopropyl. Somebody might want to look this up. But you don't want to drink isopropyl alcohol. We use it to clean. It is a very good cleaner. Part of me is like, we are going to look up the structure of isopropyl because I don't want to get this wrong. Isopropyl alcohol. Because I know it's 4 carbons. No, 1, 2, 3. It is only 3 carbons. Look at me screwing up. I was right. It is only 3 carbons. So this is isopropyl. You don't want to drink this. It's bad. It's colorless. It has a strong odor. This is a secondary alcohol, which means that the alcohol is attached to one of the 2 other carbon atoms. So this is 3. Yes, you do use it to clean blood before drawing alcohol. Propyl was 3. So methyl, ethyl. Okay, so I got this mixed up. I am so sorry, because it's been a while since I've had to do chemistry. So this, earlier I told you that this was methanol, that you don't want to drink this. Nope, correction, this is ethanol. This is the stuff you want to drink. Now, for the stuff that's bad, methanol, this is methanol. This is toxic. This is also can be a byproduct of brewing, or not of brewing, but of distilling, because that 1 carbon, I don't have enough molecules, I'm sorry. This is good, but the difference in weight between having this carbon versus this carbon and the 3 hydrogens versus this hydrogen, they distill at different rates. So yeah, this one's bad. Oops, that's not the one I wanted to take apart. Where is it? This one's good. And oops, I took off the wrong hydrogen. And this one's bad. That's literally very small chemical differences. So methanol is bad. Propanol is bad. Propanol is essentially, oops, I'm missing a hydrogen. Propanol is bad. And this is just an isomer or a structural isomer, which means it just has a slightly different combination, because propanol is technically, give me 1 second. Propanol is technically this. So you got the 3 carbons in a row and then that. But make sure I take the right things off. So same thing, 3 carbons, 1 hydroxyl, which is the oxygen, hydrogen, but different arrangement. So yeah, you don't want this one. And you definitely don't want the one where it's just 1 carbon and 1 oxygen. So there's your quick chemistry lesson. But yeah, you don't want the methanol. You don't want to get shady moonshine and things of that nature. So I have random hydrogens. Oh, it's because I tore apart a different molecule. I imagine Ohio people will make road trips to Illinois a lot next year. Are they going to change something? I don't know. I think ethanol is also for launching the V2 rocket from potatoes. That's an amazing fact, RefSmat. That's an amazing fact. But yeah, isopropanol, or, you know, isopropyl alcohol, same thing, same name, and methanol are for cleaning. Ethanol can be for drinking. So, yeah. Yeah. No, actually, we're not going to talk about that because it's not legal on a federal level. And it's complicated. I'm trying to keep it family safe, family friendly. The way we look at it is if it's legal on the federal level, it's okay to talk about because this is educational and I'm not, just drinking beer on stream. I'm teaching you about the different structures of alcohol. Where do the other alcohols come from? Like methanol and propanol? I don't remember. I know methanol can be created at the same time that ethanol is being created through distillation. I don't know about propanol and isopropyl. So there is indeed that. I would not be surprised if it came from the same methods that we use to make ethanol. And that's why it's very important to do distillation very accurately, because you don't want the bad stuff. A little bit of the bad stuff mixed in with the good stuff isn't going to kill you, but it will make you feel terrible, and too much of the bad stuff can actually kill you. So yeah, you don't buy moonshine. Just don't do it. Don't do it. It's safer to just... It is literally safer for your own safety and health and everything else. It is literally safer to just go and buy legit alcohol, even if it is more expensive. Don't try distilling at home. None of that, because if you get too much of the bad stuff, which is in the forerun, and it is indeed in the forerun and in the hind run, and that's usually what they throw away, is as Random Wallaby is saying, the batch thrown away, or they throw away the first bit and they throw away the last bit. Raven Lillian says, here they have moonshine at the liquor stores. They have that here too in Ohio, and the moonshine moonshine, as some people say, that you buy in the liquor stores is safe. It has been commercially distilled, and you can drink that. That is okay. I'm talking about, you know, the backyard stuff. You just don't do it. Don't do it. I know it's popular. I know it makes good money, but it's not worth the risk. Anyway, Esther B is totally sharing a whole bunch of links for planet viewing from a bunch of different places in the globe. So thank you for that, Esther B. And of course, before we go, we have to talk about Bennu. So let me pull up Bennu real quick. Bennu is an asteroid that we currently have a spacecraft going around, and that spacecraft is OSIRIS-REx. A lot of you know what this is. A lot of you know what the Bennu Mapper project is already. But we need to map Bennu. And I'm checking right now. I just checked right now. We have completed 1,139 images, which is amazing. This is amazing. We're making awesome progress. There's going to be a total of 4,500 images. So we're almost to the halfway point. At the halfway point, we will be doing some kind of special celebration stream. I don't know if we'll be doing giveaways of any sort. The only thing I have here at my house to give away is stickers and maybe lanyards. So there is. Is there a link for Bennu mappers? There sure is. It is bennu.cosmoquest.org. It is not cosmoquestx.org. It is cosmoquest.org because the X is where the science is. And yeah, we're mapping rocks and boulders, and a lot of the new images should be rather bright, so it should be easier to see everything. And yeah, Hanny says maybe we can do the reveal of the location that was picked. We can do that after we're done after we're done processing all the images. Is that we can probably do a reveal of what the image I'm having problems with words. Probably do reveals of some of the selected landing sites, but I don't think we know that halfway. I know that there are potential landing sites, and we won't know if we got all of them until after we get through all the pictures. So we'll do something when we hit halfway, because we still have about a month to keep going, and then we'll do something at the end. So there we go. Astro B says, dinner is ready. All right, enjoy your dinner, Astro B. And yeah, so hopefully we can show you when we're done. I don't know about right away after done, but we will show you the landing sites if we're allowed. Some of this is out of our control. We're just helping to keep, you know, OSIRIS-REx safe. We want to keep OSIRIS-REx safe. So there's that. And yeah. Please help us mark. We need 15 people. That's 15 people per image to consider the image done. Mark as much as you can. Boulders are big and usually kind of obvious. Rocks are anything that's 1/2 the size of the blue dot. I'll pull up the image again so you can see it. 1/2 the size of the blue dot to 3 times the size of the blue dot. So yeah, just do what you can. If you miss something, if you mark it wrong, feel like you mark it wrong, don't worry about it, because 14 other people will look at the same image. And if you're just starting with the tutorial, know that the tutorial is full of lies. The tutorial will lie to you. Be like, oh, this is, you know, nice, pretty images. Those images are not from Bennu, they're from Itokawa, from the first Hayabusa mission. So yeah, no, the tutorial images are full of lies, and don't believe them at all. Okay, so we've had an interesting stream today. Thank you for your patience, your continued patience as always. I hope you all enjoyed the chemistry lesson, the impromptu chemistry lesson. My minor was in chemistry. I know enough chemistry to also be dangerous. So yeah. Normally when we talk about chemistry, it's in relation to a rocket fuel, which is one of the models I tore apart. It is totally one of the models I tore apart. Raven Lillian asks, will the tutorial at least tell us the buttons? I've had that issue in the past. Yes! The tutorial will walk you through all of the tools individually and tell you how they are used, which is indeed very important and amazing. So, yeah, I wouldn't worry about that too much. I have extra hydrogens and I don't know where they came from. The tutorial will teach you what all the buttons are for. So, yeah, you will be covered. And, moonlight, the black holes to alcohol. I know, right? I know. This is just how we roll, and we all know it. I really don't know where these extra hydrogens came from. That's going to bother me now. I feel like I tore apart something, and I don't remember. Oh, okay. I know where the extra hydrogens came from. I got it. I had a water and this. Boom. Okay, cool. Fixed. A lot of you are like, but what all? So, as a oh no, I hear a car door. So does that make my desk acidic or basic? I don't know, but I've got water on my desk. I've also got hydrazine and liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen and a methyl. So yeah, oops! One second. Yes, I am still on stream. I was wrapping it up. I was literally wrapping it up. We were talking about alcohol and I had to pull out my molecules. So yes, Favorite Humans back. Escape from the Space Shuttle. That would be an awesome escape room. I don't think... No, there are escape rooms here in Youngstown, but not any of that. Got any H2CO3? Not handy. Not handy. Not handy. I have models to explain cis versus trans, and this is another really nasty rocket fuel that you don't want to get involved with. And I'm just gonna stow away my molecule models, and yeah, I have a birthday donut, guys. So I'm gonna go enjoy my birthday donut. How do you determine the state of an element by looking at only one atom? Oh, we're not getting into that. That's too much. Really? That's amazing. And apparently, I also have a birthday beer waiting for me. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for your patience. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I'm going to do the wall of text, and then if you have any suggestions for who I should raid, please put them in while I'm doing the wall of text, because I am just not going to be creative at all. I'm just not going to be creative at all. I will check to see, I don't know if Serpent AI will still be streaming, because he's on our Brain Bites team, and then the other place I check usually is, oh, all the way down. Oh, Bother is streaming. So yeah, can you please read someone at Remars? If you give me a username, yeah. You can totally, I need a username to raid. Because otherwise I'm going to go with, you know, what I found, and that's not always good. Alright, so, I need to find the right window, and... More? There's more? There's more, guys.
This is only a taste experiment 006.
It's only a test, not a taste.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. It's only a test. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. Alright,
got it 'cause of the name.
Okay, so, alright. let's do this, shall we? So this has been an episode of Daily Space with extra chemistry lesson. I was your host, Annie Wilson. Dr. Pamela is traveling. I will also be hosting tomorrow because Dr. Pamela is traveling. So we normally stream Sundays through Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern. Right now, that's 1700 hours UTC. We are brought to you by you, so thank you, everybody, for all of your support. It allows me to draw a paycheck for doing this, which is awesome because Pamela is awesome and pays me a living wage. Our host institution is PSI, that's Planetary Science Institute in Tucson, Arizona, working in collaboration with Youngstown State University here, and yeah, it's probably raining, it's cloudy outside, OMG, Youngstown, Ohio. If you can't support us financially, that's okay. Follows are free, telling your friends about us is free, hanging out on Discord is free, hanging out on this stream is free. Yeah, please, come hang out with us. Favorite human is distracting me. If you miss an episode, you can catch video on demand. If the video on demand has gone poof, you can check us out on YouTube. We are the CosmoQuest channel with lots of videos, not the CosmoQuest channel with one video. Things happen, people. What else? I think that's all the important bits. I will see you all later. I think I did cover all the important bits. Nobody's giving me ideas to raid. I saw something about Remars, but I don't know who that is. So we're gonna raid Oh Bother. Or actually, we'll check Serpent AI. Some KSP streamer. When I do a search, I do a search by username. That's why I ask for usernames. Serpent AI is streaming. Oh Bother's probably live. I don't know if ESL is live. So yeah, I when I do a quick search to raid or host, I need a username. So yeah, we're just gonna raid now we'll raid Serpent. And there is Paul M. Sutter. Do we know Paul M. Sutters? I can't raid his YouTube from Twitch. So we're gonna go with Serpent AI. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'm going to awkwardly roll the credits. Again, thank you for everything. And as soon as I find out the button, and I will see you tomorrow. And yeah, have a wonderful insert time of day here, and I will see you tomorrow. Again, yes, I said that. All right. Anyways, birthday donut awaits later. Bye. Thank you all.